One thing I gotta tell you, you don't become her by copying her. You become her by becoming her. Let's rewind.
Find you under all that pain. There's a fire you can't contain. Rather let it lead the way. You're not
One thing I gotta tell you, you don't become her by copying her. You become her by becoming her. In today's video, we're talking about becoming her, that version of you that you've always wanted to be without faking it, right? So let me back up a little bit. If you do not know who I am and this is your first time to my channel, my name is Ashley Nicole. I am a women's health and life coach. Right now, I've been helping women, working with clients to get you up off of that couch. Yep, it's time. Get up, sis. Pushing you for you to jump into the next version of your life. What does that look like for you? That's what we're talking about today. Let's talk social media comparisons, right? So majority of the time when you're trying to figure out who you are, say you were someone deep in your teenage years, right? You knew who you were. You were this cheerleader or you were this baseball player and you got good grades and you were, one of those people who graduated with honors. You knew who you were in your 18s. You got out of your 18s, you got into your 20s. You were this college student, or maybe you became a mom early, or maybe you decided you wanted to be this fashion designer. Whatever it was for you, you understood who you were when you were 18, understood who you were when you were 20, maybe even understood who you were in your 30s, or you're just starting out and you have no idea who you are, right? Or what your identity is at this moment in your life. This is what we're going to talk about. Comparing yourself to someone that you see either in your actual life or online. We're really talking about social media because a lot of the times when you're trying to recreate your identity or find your identity, the one that you want for yourself, not who people are telling you to be, not who you think someone wants you to be, but who you really are, you tend to compare yourself, right? Maybe you're looking at someone who may be motivational for you. Maybe it's someone famous. Maybe it's someone you've never met before, but you're comparing yourself to them. This is where we're going to stop, because a lot of the times we compare ourselves to what their body looks like, how they dress, how they carry themselves, maybe their finances, what their relationship looks like, what their career likes, how they carry themselves, how they're confident, right? How they already seem like they know who they are. We're not doing that. We're starting from scratch here, meaning we can look to get inspiration. Like maybe you want to dress a certain way. That doesn't mean go copy everything this person does. Maybe you want to have this business and maybe this person is a singer and you don't know how to become a singer. So you watch some of the things that they do. It's okay if you're using it as a little bit of motivation, but not comparisons. Because maybe this person has been doing this since they were a kid. Maybe this person works on their body. Maybe this person has fixed their wardrobe and edited their life, right? You can't compare something in your day one to someone's day 365, or, they've been doing this for 10 and 20 years. The comparisons has to stop. You can't compare someone else's bank account to what you've been doing. You can't compare the fact that this person has a new car and you have an old car, or this person has white cabinets and your cabinets are brown, or this person's hair is long and your hair is short, because all you're doing is really tearing yourself down, right? You're never going to be that person. No matter how much you try to copy them, no matter how much you compare yourself to them, you're never going to be them. You're always going to be who you are. And what happens is when you compare yourself so much to other people, other women, other people around you, is you start stealing pieces of them. Now, it's one thing to borrow. Maybe you see somebody who has a real hype personality, but you haven't, you're not really there, but you're like, okay, I'm going to be real hype, but I'm going to be real hype for me, the way that Ashley does it, right? The way that Emily does it, the way that whoever does it. But for you, not copying them. Because what happens is this is how the fakeness comes in, right? You compare yourself so much to someone else. Maybe you're comparing yourself to a famous person. Maybe you're comparing yourself to an influencer or somebody in your life who you feel, because you don't really know the details of their life, who you feel is doing better or who you feel has their life going for them, and you start to steal who they are. This is when you start to fake things, right? You know that fake it till they make it. In certain areas, I can understand, but in this, when you're creating your identity and you're stepping into that woman, that girl who you want to be, you can't do that. We can't fake this, right? So maybe you go and you start copying their wardrobe. You might even start copying their accent, the way that they carry themselves, the way that they talk. Again, you're faking it because that's not your natural self. Like for me, what I realized is I'm a person who I love to talk, but I also am a person who talks with my hands because I get very empathetic and I get very emotional, and this helps me deliver. And not all the time do I need to do that. There was a time where I thought I had to be so perfect and I should sit up in this chair and I shouldn't move. But when I do that, I'm not being myself, right? When I tried to dress in jogging suits and tennis shoes and dress sporty, I realized that I wasn't me. I like a good blazer. I like a skirt. I like a party dress. I love high heels. I like purses. I like makeup. I like nice things. That doesn't mean that just because at a time that I couldn't do it, or I couldn't maybe afford it, or I didn't want to spend money in that area, didn't mean I go copy someone else, or I maybe even felt uncomfortable, right? Maybe I could afford those things. Maybe you can't afford those things, but maybe you just don't feel that comfortable being you walking into a room. I'm gonna say it. So what? Get up. Do it anyways. Do not keep taking your light and dimming it to make other people feel comfortable. Your natural personality, the person who you naturally are, it comes out naturally. And you sometimes will suppress it because it makes people uncomfortable. You will suppress it because you don't know if people are going to accept it. Who cares? Get up. Do it anyways, right? So these are the things that we're working on, of not taking on someone else's identity, not comparing yourself to someone else. You're showing up as you, even if you don't fully know who the you is at the moment, right? For me, I had to go through phases of like, I thought I could be that comfortable girl who throws on a jogging suit, and every now and then it will happen, but this jogging suit needs to be cute. It can't be baggy. It can't look boyish. I like to look good when I get up. So what someone else over here is looking good doing isn't gonna be what's good for me. So stop comparing yourself. If you're not where you want to be, that is perfectly okay. The part that is not okay is you sitting in that and not doing anything to change your circumstances and your outcome. Because the one thing that I'm going to tell you as we continue to do these edits is, who is the author? Who is writing the chapter? Who is writing this story? You. So don't go steal stuff from other people and put it into your book if that is not who you are. Start figuring those things out. Figure out who you are. Because what happens is you take all these things, you compare yourself, you try to be like this person, talk like this person, walk like this person, dress like this person, and you lose you in the process of doing that. You fake it, right? And when you're faking it and you got to show up as this person who people think you are going to fail miserably every time. Or if you're a good enough performer, what happens is you go home and you realize, I don't even want this. I don't even want to be around these people. I don't want to look like this. I don't want to carry myself like this. And this is how you start to empty out. So what I'm going to do, because I always have to leave you guys with something, is I'm going to give you 3 values, 3 things, 3 tips that you can take from this video, and you can start looking at your life to see, am I on the right path to be that girl, that woman, that ideal self that I know that I could be, right? We're going to push into that next. So the first one is define your version of her. When I say her, I don't mean her over here on social media or her who you used to be, her right now in this moment, right? So you know who you are. You know the things. Look at yourself under a magnifying glass and say, okay, I walk into my closet and I'm going to get dressed and none of this feels like what I want to feel like. That's one thing. How does she dress? How does she wear her hair? How does she smile? How does she smell? How does she take care of herself? Does she practice self-care? Does she practice morning routines? How does she keep her body up? Does she eat good? Does she work out? Does she pray? Does she meditate? Does she fast? What does the future version or the next version, because it doesn't even have to be in the future, if you just go along with what life is pulling you to. Stop always being afraid to take the leap, to move, to listen to what the universe is saying to you that's calling you to that next version of yourself. What career does she have? What does she do for a living? How much money does she make? Is she happy? Is she married? Is she single? Is she in a good relationship? Is she in a healthy relationship where she can give love freely and the love is being reciprocated and giving right back to her, right? What does she look like? Is she a person that travels? Does she drive a nice car? Is she financially stable? Do you know about wealth? Does she know how to invest money? Like, of course, I'm giving you a broad perspective of things to think about, but why not? Why do you want to stay limited? At least for me, I'm saying to myself, I no longer want to limit myself. There is so much world out here that I haven't even begin to experience with traveling, with eating certain things, with being in a financial position that makes me feel like a powerhouse, right? With being the number one coach, because that's where I'm at, the number one coach. That's what I see for myself. I know that she, her, me, who I am right now, carries herself a certain way. I know that I comb my hair. I don't leave the house in a bonnet or a headscarf. I don't wear dirty shoes or wear clothes that have stains on them or have pajamas that don't match. Panty and bra need to be matching. Clean socks, smell good, great hygiene, drink my water, eat my healthy foods, working out. What do you want for you? Because this is the thing that we have to understand. We put ourselves on punishment. We tell ourselves that we can't have things. Okay, so maybe you're thinking, well, I can't do this because right now I'm the only provider. I'm the only one working. I'm the only one doing whatever it is that I'm doing, and I can afford to get a whole wardrobe. Okay, perfectly fine. Start with one thing. Find the ugliest thing or the worst thing or the trashiest, make you feel broke thing in your closet, and you get rid of it. And then you take $20. And if you don't have the $20 now, then you put $1 in an envelope every time you get it. And when you get enough money to replace that item, that's what you do. If you feel like you want to go on vacation, but I can't afford it, there's packages, baby. You can start with a payment plan. Maybe you can't go today. Maybe you can't go next month. Maybe you can only go next year. Start putting your package together and start putting money in it. Maybe you want to invest, but you feel like I don't have money to invest. I'm pretty sure that you do, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things that you buy on TikTok or Instagram or Amazon or at the coffee shop that you can put into investing $5 here. So what if it's little? Sometimes the littlest steps that we take in life are the ones that can lead to big opportunities, the ones that can move you to big version of you, because we're done playing small. We're done playing small from here going forward. And it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to make you worried. It's going to make you feel anxious. If I'm going to feel anxious for anything, it's going to be for the things that I want. I'm not going to feel anxious still sitting here unhappy. I'm not going to feel anxious still sitting here not investing. I'm not going to feel anxious comparing myself to somebody. I'm going to feel anxious to a certain extent of, I know that this is uncomfortable because it's something that I'm not used to. And in the process of me feeling anxious, another thing that I know that I do is I work on regulating my nervous system. And that's something that we're going to start talking about in the videos to come. Making sure that if I feel anxious, understanding why I do, understanding if it is something, it's not dangerous to me. It's my body saying, I am not used to this, but it's not something that's going to harm or kill me. So understanding that now that my nervous system or my body feels anxious, relax. Because the biggest thing out of everything that you do, the number one thing is remember to breathe. Number 2, I'm always going to give you at least 3 tips. And I've talked about this in other videos before. The second one is to create habits that represent her, you. Maybe not right now in this moment, but who you want to be. Habits that you can create. For me, I know I wanted habits of, I always work out, but I didn't work out where the body that I envisioned, the body yada yada that I envisioned for myself, my working out just by teaching my classes was getting me there, but it wasn't getting me there fast enough, right? So I decided to start going to the gym at least 4 days a week. I decided that I'm still going to teach my classes. I decided that I need to rest in between when I'm pushing my body. So picking and figuring out what habits can you create for you that's going to get you to that next version of yourself. Because see, a lot of times I hear videos like, the version of myself is good, and it is. Don't get me wrong. But we as humans, we always tend to grow, right? You grow with age, you grow with relationships, you grow with education, you grow with awareness, and you also elevate in life. At least that's what we're supposed to do. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Because I believe the Janae Aiko song says that, and I come back to her a lot, right? Because Janae Aiko be giving them gems, right? First, we had the last one where she was born tired, but how long you gonna sit in that? How long are we gonna sit in that tiredness, right? And then the other one is we're supposed to change, right? We're supposed to change. That is what's supposed to happen. So the version that you got of me at 18, 19, 20, or 20s into my 30s, pushing into my 40s ain't gonna be the same. And we are supposed to change. We are supposed to elevate. So in the process of you doing that, what habits does she do? Does she get up early in the morning? Does she journal? Does she have a habit tracker on her phone or on her iPad? Do you keep a calendar where you write things down? Take the time. Don't rush through this. Get that journal out that you've been working on. If you've been following with me, get that same journal out that you've been keeping. Start writing down. This $1 million powerhouse CEO version of me, what does she do? What does she look like? She's not sleeping in. She's making her bed. She's opening her curtains. She's not walking around laying in pajamas all the time, unless it's my rest day because I need that. Am I going in and getting massages? Am I going to the gym? Am I managing my finances well? These are things that you should be asking yourself. Is that what she's doing? Is she managing her finances? Is she working on healthy relationships with her friends, healthy relationships with her partner, healthy relationships with her kids, healthy relationship with herself? Is she positive? Is she a bully, not only to other people, but bullying to herself? Absolutely not. Does she work out? Does she wear the two-piece? Does she wear suits? Does she wear dresses? Does she wear makeup? What are the things that you feel like you've been missing your entire life that you want? Because this is really what it is. This is the reason why we wake up and we feel lost and we compare ourselves to other people, because we haven't accepted the version of ourselves now, for one, because you are good enough and you are capable. But if you're missing things, then baby, what are you willing to do to get the things that you want? Nobody's stopping you. Nobody is stopping you. So what you've had heartache? So what you've had turmoil? So what this didn't work out? So what you cried? So what you're mad? So what? Get up. Because here's the thing. Growing up in certain childhoods, in certain cultures, we got yelled at for the wrong things. We didn't get yelled at for really pushing yourself. Only if it benefited someone else, right? You got yelled at for not doing your homework and going to school because we had to go to school. But we were yelled at for different things, like you singing too much. Shut up. Your music is too loud. Be quiet. Why are you dancing all around? Sit down. We got yelled at for the wrong things. Not everybody, but I know from my experience, there was a lot of things that we as kids got yelled at that we should have been pushed into. So now, as your coach, at least here on the internet today, I'm not yelling at you to be hard at you. I'm not even yelling. I'm not pushing or being a little bit forceful to say it in a bad way. It's that, baby, the woman is the most powerful thing in the universe, and we understand that. We deliver babies. We come the closest that we can ever come to experiencing death or bringing life into this world. So if we can handle that, gaining weight, mood swings, postpartum, people who pass away and don't make it through it. If you're still here and you've experienced it, or you have the ability to eventually experience it, and you can handle that, baby, you can handle anything. And I want you to understand that. And I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to me too. We have the power to do what we want. Stop putting yourself on punishment. Stop telling yourself you can't do it. Stop looking in the mirror and bullying yourself. Stop telling yourself that you're not beautiful. Stop telling yourself you're not as good as her, or you're not as smart, or you don't know what you're doing. So what? Learn. So what? Work out. So what? Fix the things that you feel like you're not happy with. Because in the process of going through and seeing the habits and seeing that version of yourself, You're going to have to show up. This is the third one. Before you see those results, you're going to have to show up before that wardrobe looks like you want. You're going to have to show up before that bank account matches what you know that you're worth. Right? You're going to have to show up before you get a client. You're going to have to show up before you get results. You're going to have to show up before you can go to that hair appointment and get your nails did. You're going to have to show up before you even feel like it. So what are you deciding to do right now in this moment? Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired? Aren't you good enough? Aren't you worthy? So here's what I'll tell you, because I got to take it down a notch. I am the most sympathetic and empathetic person because I know what it feels like to have great creativity, to be full of energy, to create great things. I'm a writer. I am a singer. I don't know about the dancing part. I get there. I am a life coach. I am whatever I want to be, because who said I couldn't be? So in the process of me expressing this to you and working through this with you is because I want to see nothing but winners, right? I want to build a community of nothing but women who wake up every day, who aren't overly stressed, who can manage their nervous system, who can walk in their softness, who can be loved correctly, who can have the career that they want, who can be a mama, who can be a wife, who can be a powerhouse. That is what I want for you. That is what I want for me. And that is what I want for every single woman that I come in contact with. So here's what I have for you. Define her, build her, and move before you have the results. The confidence that you want, the confident version of you that you want to be, it is built through movement, through habits. It is not just going to be built through your thoughts. Your thoughts are good. Write them down. But when are you going to decide to start taking action and controlling your life? As women, we naturally control everything, right? At least we try, because we're nurturers. We're meant to help guide. That's what we're meant to do. We're meant to raise. We're meant to push your child to the next level so that they can survive without you. But what about the same energy given to yourself, right? That confidence that maybe you don't feel, those insecurities, that self-esteem, that overworked, underpaid, undervalued, underloved. When are you going to take the step and to take that action to move forward, see who you are, understand who you want to be, and know that you're capable of doing it, because you can. You know, I'm going to tell you always, you're more than enough. You're beautiful. You're courageous. You can have anything that you want. First, you just have to believe. Then second, you have to trust yourself, and actually trust yourself sometimes even when you don't believe it, because they say faith as a mustard seed. And if you ever seen a mustard seed, baby, it's small. That's all you need. A little bit of faith in you and a little bit of faith within what you're doing. You can achieve anything. Above everything, the number one thing that I'm going to say to you is this. I understand that we've been hurt. We've been disappointed. We've even disappointed ourselves, right? I get it. I've been there. I understand it. But the world on the outside does not care. When you go to get a job, when you go to do certain things in your life, there are a lot of people who don't care. I'm not one of them, but I will tell you this. We get it. We've all been hurt. We've all been disappointed. We've all wanted things that we didn't achieve, but that doesn't mean that we can't achieve them now. I'll say this to you. So what? Get up. Push yourself, not to the point of exhaustion, but to the point where you are proud of you. Forget everybody else. Always take time on you, slow down, and always remember to breathe. You know, I'm going to say it. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I really want to hear you guys' thoughts. Leave comments below. And I hope, well, you know what? It is what it is. I'm not going to be that soft coach. I'm not going to be that coach that's going to baby you, because that's part of the problem in the world now. I was babied way too much. And now I've just decided to blow things up take whatever is going to come to me, but we're going to walk in this together because you're not alone. Until next time.